that's purpose.
I mean, we aim for one, but more is better.
Well, of course. Absolutely.
I mean, ideally, that's what we all want.
Yes. Yes.
But to change the life of one person is ideal.
Right.
I mean, it means the world anyway. But yeah, so I mean, it's fascinating all this stuff. And then, so how has all this changed your life?
Well, it's
besides the diabetes,
Yeah. So great question. It's really changed me in regards to, for me personally, I feel that I've got more, as I said earlier, purpose, and I'm really driven to be able to help other people and communicate, because the stories that I'm reading with children and with adults who have suffered for years and years and years, their lives are being changed. And that's, we're getting nonverbal autistic children to start speaking because they're cleaning up their microbiome. They're cleaning their gut. We're getting people who have suffered from years.
That's fascinating. Non-speaking.
Yes. This is the second time I've heard that.
Wow.
The second time. So I'm anxious to, hear more on that. And I actually do a monthly, twice a month, Facebook Live. It's called Getting to the Root of It. And I interviewed Dr. Georgia Balsley. She's a naturopath in Michigan. I talked to her about what is, the microbiome and its relationship to autism or to leaky gut or to anxiety, depression. This month it's actually going to be the baby microbiome. And this coming Thursday will be baby microbiome. So we do it generally the first and the third, or the second and fourth Thursday. And it's really educating people about the microbiome and its relationship to the different diseases, because this study is coming up with everything is revolved around the microbiome and your gut, and how things evolve if you've got a bad gut. And it's pretty amazing. It's pretty revolutionary science. It is the science that's disrupting the health and wellness industry.
Yeah. Well, just out of curiosity, do you know what the worst foods are for us to eat? Or the most dangerous? There's a lot of us would say cake or fatty foods or fried foods or whatever. But
yeah. So first of all, anything with sugar, anything with processed sugar. Okay. Vegetable oils. Bad. Very, very bad.
What about olive oil?
Pure virgin olive oil is good. Coconut oil is excellent for you. Avocado oil, those are good.
What's the deal with the vegetable oil?
The vegetable oil has the bad fats in it. And you
think it's from vegetables, but it's not.
Yeah, but it's all processed. It's just so processed, and it's just unhealthy. It's really unhealthy for you, and it destroys the gut.
What about Crisco? Just kidding. Not just lard.
Forget it. What was interesting is when I was starting my research early on, do a search for Monsanto. You know who Monsanto is?
No.
Monsanto is the company who created Roundup, which is the weed killer and the plant and the insect killer, but they also patented glyphosate. So glyphosate is a chemical that was patented as an antibiotic back in 1973, and they've injected it into the genes of corn and soy to ward off insects. But when I did a search on Monsanto, Monsanto is bought out by Bayer now. They own 69 food companies, and in every single one of those companies, you'll find glyphosate.
Wow.
And when I saw that, I went to we went to our pantry, and we pulled out 75% of the food that was in there because it was all owned by Monsanto. So you do a search on the web, you'll see 69 companies: Healthy Choice, Kellogg's, Aunt Jemima, syrup. The list just goes on.
Healthy
and on
Choice.
And on. Healthy Choice.
Wow.
Not good.
Seriously.
And
all the time you think it's making a good choice.
Well, think about it.
Choice.
But think about it. The Healthy Choice is processed food. It's frozen.
There's a lot of sodium too.
Exactly. So there's chemical preservatives in there, so the food won't rot, basically.
So it's so confusing because it's usually frozen.
Right.
So you think you're getting frozen food, that's just pure, but it's not.
No, you're not getting it. So those are the things to really watch for. If you can't read something on a label, then
if you can't pronounce it.
If you can't pronounce it, then throw it away. Just throw it away. And that's what we've learned. And there's so much more out there, and it's one step at a time. Don't try to do this all in a day or in a week or in a month. It's you take one day at a time and learn about your body, learn about what you're putting into your body, because ultimately, as I say, #poop matters, and what you're putting in it's not necessarily you are what you eat, it's you are what you digest.
True.
Because if you're not digesting the foods properly, they're being disseminated into your gut, and it's unhealthy because you can't really digest chemicals.
Mm-hmm. Somebody who was on my show before said labels are for food, not people. And that's what it means, I guess. And it completely makes sense. It's kind of making me really thinking about what's in my cabinet at home. What am I feeding my kids? And it's it's nerve-wracking to think about.
Yeah. Well, think about today about the kids that are so hyper and they're fed candy and sugar in earlier years. We've got a horrific percentage of autistic children, and I interviewed 2 women in the series Getting to the Root of It, and one has 3 sons who are autistic, and another one had 2 sons that were autistic. And one even thought that her husband was autistic, but was misdiagnosed because he was born in the 50s. You never heard of it back then. But her Shelley's oldest son is 28. When he was diagnosed, it was like 1 in 500 kids. Then her second son was born 10 years later, and it was down to like about 250 to 300. Today, it's 1 in 59 kids are diagnosed autistic.
Yeah, it's increasing.
And then by 2025, they're expecting it to be 1 in 15. And what do they do with autistic children? They put them on pharmaceuticals. And it's all about changing their gut, changing what they're eating. And if you can do that, we've had tremendous success stories with autistic children, ADHD, all kinds of hyperactive children are really coming down and being leveled out, if you will.
Well, it makes sense. I mean, you want to kind of pay attention to behaviors as well as, if somebody has anxiety, don't drink coffee after a certain time. Or if you're stressed out, watch the caffeine intake. Hyperactive kids, watch the sugar intake, the caffeine. We don't give our kids coffee for a reason, but the sugar does the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we take them to McDonald's, ice cream, all that stuff. It's
There's an interesting movie called Fed Up. And it was produced by Katie Couric. And I just watched this the other day. Amazing about the health of the obesity problem that we have in the United States, and where it all comes from. And it's really sad. The kids today, it's just a very, very high percentage of obese children. And if it's not really resolved early on, it really destroys their life.
Yeah.
In the long run, which is really sad.
Yeah, because, metabolism starts somewhere.
That's right. Absolutely.
And they could struggle with the rest of their life.
Mm-hmm.
It's, I want to talk more about this. This is really all fascinating, Jeff, and I appreciate you sharing this with us. It's kind of scary to think about, though. But, we can always start somehow, start today to make a difference, in ourselves and with our family, too,
Exactly.
But it's time for our second break. And so we're going to talk a little bit more about this when we get back.
Sure.
But I want to welcome callers to call in, 866-826-1340, 866-826-1340. And it's time for our second break. And we'll be back with Moments of Clarity in just a moment. Stay tuned.
We will return to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Warner after these messages.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Hi, this is Tiffany Warner, your host of Moments of Clarity. Living with a mental health disorder is not easy. If you or someone you know are struggling with this, please know it's so important to seek treatment and I'm here to help. Please visit the website at momentsofclaritywithtiffany.com to view blog posts and resources on this site to help educate and inspire you to take action, because there's no shame in seeking help for mental health. While you're there, please take a few seconds to sign up for my email list. You'll get some extremely valuable educational and entertaining content that can be sent right to your inbox each week. Plus, you'll also get instant and free access to my guide on managing your anxiety. You can also follow me on Twitter at MOC with Tiffany and at Facebook at Tiffany Warner. And once again, the website is momentsofclaritywithtiffany.com. Thank you so much for your support and for listening to your show, because change can only come when we stand together as one. Hi, this is Tiffany Warner, your host of Moments of Clarity. I'd like to give a shout out to musician-songwriter Don Lawson, who wrote, produced, and performed all the vocals and instruments on my Moments of Clarity theme song. Don gained his inspiration as a mental health counselor himself. He's always looking for artists to record his songs, and you can hear more of Don's music at reverbnation.com/Don Lawson. You can also check him out on Twitter at Don Lawson Music. Thank you so much, Don, for your contribution to Moments of Clarity and ending the stigma on mental health. It's awesome.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Now back to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Werner, licensed mental health counselor. To engage in the conversation, call 866-826-1340. Here's Tiffany.
Hey, welcome back. And if you're just tuning in, this is Moments of Clarity. My name is Tiffany Warner. I'm a licensed mental health counselor, and I'm your host. And in studio with me today is published author and the mental wellness gladiator, Jeffrey Berger. And he's here sharing about how nutrition is so important for our mental health and our I don't want to say health, but wellness.
Overall wellness.
Yeah, completely.
Right.
And welcome back, Jeff, and thanks for sharing all this stuff. And say, there's some times where have you ever seen that movie Super Size Me, where it's like the guy goes through McDonald's like morning.
Oh yes, he gained a lot of weight.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. So he decides to do it for 1 month straight, right. And he goes through the drive-through, and every time they said, "Would you like to supersize that?" he has to do it, and otherwise he could get a small. So we had breakfast at McDonald's, lunch, and then dinner. And his liver started to shut down, right. And his organs started to like malfunction and all that, and
wake up call.
Right. I mean, he started to get really physically sick just from that. I mean, and that was just, even if he had a salad and fries or whatever, just the fries itself. And it's just really scary to think, that's what we're feeding our children. That's a quick fix to go through the drive-through or whatever. But I mean, this guy did it for just 30 days and almost died. And not only did he just gain a lot of weight, but he was hospitalized.
Right. And, Tiffany, you got to think about back 40, 50 years ago. You're not that old. But when I was a kid, you didn't have the illnesses that you do today. And fast food was just coming around. McDonald's, what was it, 1963 is I think when they opened up, or maybe it was in the mid-50s.
Remember when it used to say over 1 million served?
Yes.
They stopped counting now.
It's probably trillions now.
At least.
But that's when this all started, is the fast foods and how the economy changed, and when moms had to go to work. So moms and dads are working and they come home and they're just tired from, working all day to make a good meal. Let's go out and get McDonald's or Burger King or whatever, Wendy's, whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's the quick gratification and just... eat that way. And
it's sick is that McDonald's was ranked the healthiest drive-through. And it was out of all of them because they have the more healthy options or something, the salads and stuff like that. But I mean, they have the unhealthy options too. But
right.
But well, scary to think that too.
Exactly. I think there's another video out there called Food Inc. and how meats are really processed, and that was another rude awakening. If you can really find some of this stuff and get educated, and it's really scary what's out there. And you've seen articles and foods being taken off the shelf because mm-hmm. of contamination, so forth and so on. So, and that's all over the world. That's happening.
I saw something that resonated with me. It affects me, like when I have to eat. But they were showing pictures of meat, like butcher. and like they just carve out cancer and like still process the meat and feed it probably through Taco Bell or whatever.
They do.